Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you our pint-sized painters, Vincent van Gogh sunflowers tutorial. So go ahead and collect all your materials. It's beautiful outside, so I will be setting up out there, but feel free to do this in your living room or kitchen or dining room, wherever you like. We did provide an extra large tarp, as you can see here, so that you can really do this project anywhere without worry about messing anything up. Happy painting, guys. Hey guys, now that we have everything set up from our Vincent van Gogh pint-sized painter set, I'm going to give you a little tutorial on how to paint the sunflowers. Now, as many of you know, I strongly encourage to always allow your child to paint and express however they feel, but I also do know that some children like to look at a picture like we've provided and mimic exactly how it is. And sometimes as parents, when we can't exactly help them do that, they get frustrated, we get frustrated. So this is to help everyone. So I have everything set up here from my kit. The only extra things that I grabbed was my little water cup here and a paper towel so that I can blot my paintbrush. So now I picked my colors that we were going to use for the sunflowers, and we did the yellows all out of the kit. We did the yellow, the mustard, the orange, the sienna brown, dark brown, light green, and dark green. Now, I'm gonna take my paintbrush here and I'm going to start with the vase. Now, essentially this painting can be all made from circles and lines, right? Like most things. So I'm gonna start with the yellow. I'm gonna dab a little yellow here, and I'm gonna dab a little bit of the mustard because I kind of like how that blends. Now, about 3/4 of the way down my canvas, I'm going to draw a half moon. So we're gonna go like this. I guess I should say half of an oval actually. And that's gonna be the rim of my vase. And then I'm gonna take a little more yellow, a little more tan, and it's almost gonna look like a honey pot. And as you can see already, I made mine a little closer to the bottom than Vincent made his, and that's okay. Okay. Now I'm going to draw the background lines. I'm going to take a little of the sienna, a little of the yellow, and I'm just going to put that line that he has there. That's to show that it was on the table. And I'm going to bring in a little bit of that dark hue around the edges of my vase. Now I decided to set up outside today because it is absolutely gorgeous here in Long Island. And Vincent often painted outside, weather permitting of course. And even when he would paint at night, this straw hat, like I'm wearing now, like you'll be wearing because it's inside your kit, he actually would stick candles in it so that he can see at night and still be outside to paint, which is a pretty neat little fact. Now, I'm gonna switch up. Actually, we can keep doing the yellow, so we'll do some of the flowers and then bring them down gradually. So let's do a little bit of this burnt sienna again, and we're gonna make the circles on the sunflowers up here. And you could use the darker brown if you like here. We can do both. a big fan of blending colors. Create something totally new, all unique to you. And then I'm also going to paint, I should say, the circle next to it. All right, and then we'll take a little bit of a sienna. And you notice I haven't washed my brush yet. It's mainly because, as you can see in Vincent's painting, he really did let the colors meld together, and we haven't moved on to the green yet. So right now, all of these colors can kind of flow. And then I'm going to be drawing that circle there, a little further down over here. Oh, I like that. I like that little color combination that just happened. I really hope you're enjoying our kits and that you're enjoying this. It's fun to be able to create and then create with your children and just watch the enjoyment that they get out of it, you know? Okay, so now I'm going to rinse off our paintbrush a little bit. I have my paper towel here, wipe that off a bit. And now I'm going to go back in and I'm going to add my sunflower petals. So I'm going to take some of the yellow and I'm going to take some of the mustard. And we're going to do longer strokes here definitely help. Because of the way these sunflowers are, they have long, thin petals. And as you can see, they're all like that. So we're going to make a varied amount of petals around these circles, and then we'll go back in and add our shading along them. Okay, so now we have those 3 flowers done. We're going to move on to do some other flowers. So I'm just going to work my way around the canvas. I always like to do the centers first. It just makes the painting flow a little better because you kind of know where you're setting your flowers up. It's like a good starting point, you know? So I got my circle here. And then if you come over here, it looks like we have one on the outside, kind of looking out, and then this one's looking down. That one's green, so I'm going to save that for last. And then we have our 2 brown ones in the middle here, so I'm just going to make 2 little smaller circles. They're kind of almost like placeholders, you know? And this for our outside one, I'm going to add a little of the darker sienna here. And that way we know we're dealing with our circles, our center starting points. All right. Now that we have our circles done, I'm going to come in and I'm going to start to make my petals again. And they do kind of flow into one another, so, oh, paper towel almost blew away. So don't you worry about that. Your kids are going to kind of make the lines, and as your painting goes, you'll see what works and what doesn't. So we got that. And you can always come in with like a darker shade to really define things a little better, if you like. So I'm using the mustard and a little sienna now, because I'm going to come in and make these darker ones in the center. And as you can see, they really do, they overlap. They overlap in his painting, they're going to overlap in yours. Now, Vincent actually painted about 12 different variations of the sunflowers. He loves painting sunflowers. He loved being out in nature, as I stated before, and he really felt things, like connected to things when he was outside doing what he loved, just painting. Now this one, we're gonna kind of keep the petals on the back side of it since it's looking out. So I'm not going to be putting any petals on the front side, as you can see here. Now down here in the flower pot, it looks like he has a little bit of a flower. It might actually just be a filler there. And then we have another flower here looking down. So that's the one I'm going to do now, but I'm going to leave some space for that green one. The only reason I'm doing the green last is because it's the darkest color on here for a flower. and it'll be easier to cover over the yellow with the green rather than vice versa. So I'm gonna come out of this side, and I'm just gonna, this looks like a big mess of a flower, so I'm gonna do really wispy, quick, short brush strokes on that one. And I'm also gonna do the same here inside the flower pot. And I'm gonna add a little bit of the mustard, a little bit more of the sienna. And now we're gonna be moving on to our green. Now I'm gonna use the dark green and the light green here. We're also gonna incorporate some browns into it. And it doesn't really have a defined center, so I'm just gonna be doing some strokes that look like the flower petals over my other flowers in this open area that we left. And it looks like we have our green flower there. Now he's got this little flower off to the side here that's a yellow green. So we're gonna, once again, we're gonna dip in the yellow, and we're just gonna bring out a stem, and then we're gonna add a little bit of the light green, a little more of the yellow, and we'll do our center. And then, hey guys, so my video stopped recording, unfortunately, and I had completed the painting. So I'm just gonna double back and show you what I did. So after we finished up our green flower over here, I went ahead and got some of my orange paint, and I mixed it with a little bit of yellow, and I came in at the bottom here and I did some swirls to make my table color. Now his is more yellow than orange. I happen to like the contrast with the orange, so that's why I added more to mine. But I just went in and I did swirls like this with the combination of the two colors, and it gave it a little bit of a different effect, which I was kind of fond of. So we did our swirls, and then I came in over here and I took our darker paint and I put the line across the vase, just like he has, and then added a little bit of the mustard yellow over here so that I can come in and do some of like the shading effects that he has. And this, you're just doing your side-to-side strokes. Then, as you notice, in the background here, it looks like he almost has some bluish green swirls going on behind the flowers. So what we did to create that on our painting is grabbed our blue paint, and you're just gonna put a little bit on your palette, just a smidgen. And then you're gonna grab your white paint, and you're gonna put a little bit with that as well. Then we're gonna take our brush and dab it ever so lightly in the blue, because you don't need a lot, just like that. And then I'm even gonna dab most of that off onto the palette. And then I'm gonna add a whole bunch of white like that, so it's nicely mixed. And then I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna just do little tiny swirling motions behind, in the empty part of the canvas, kind of behind the sunflowers, almost giving it the effect of a sky. Maybe the flowers are outside, maybe they're up against a nice window looking out into the blue skies. And there you have it. We have completed our Vincent van Gogh sunflowers. I really hope you guys are enjoying your kits at home and all of the videos that we're posting on here. And don't forget that either while you're painting or when you're done painting, to definitely read the back of your pamphlet here. It gives you all fun facts about Vincent van Gogh, him and his life. And then there's even points on here that you and your child can engage together with, different questions to ask them to really get them thinking. And don't forget to let the creativity flow, guys. Happy painting. Thanks for watching.